Hey, it's Coach Debbie Potts, and I am in North San Diego, and it's October 1st tomorrow. As I record this, it's 87 degrees out. I moved to North San Diego from Seattle 4 years ago to improve quality of life and reduce my stressors of running a fitness studio full time. And now I am enjoying my new life and the new me, a little more laid back, a little more chillax and active year round outside. But I am on a mission to help myself as well as you to improve how we age. Part of that is, say every episode, embracing the aging process and stop blaming it. Don't get old, I'm getting older as an excuse. That would be a lame excuse. It's just not taking ownership for our health and changing, tweaking things a little bit, how we do things. Because at age 40 something, I'm now 52, gosh, 53 in a month. I don't know how I just turned 50 and now I'm already 3 years later. We need to change up a little workout programs. We can't try to lose weight because we feel like we're getting fatter by doing more cardio and eating less. That is not the solution. So I've done many videos and blogs on this topic. How do you improve your metabolism? How do you speed it up? So we're burning more calories. Just right now, I'm burning more calories. Plus, moving around a little bit more helps. Thermic effect of food helps. Lifting weights really helps. Eating more protein, and what we'll talk about the essential amino acids, how sometimes we need them. I think a lot of times we need them. And I decided the other day, I am going to do a 30-day challenge for myself. I wanted to invite you to join me. No cost. You just need to go buy some perfect aminos on this link here. So perfect aminos, use my code Debbie Potts to get a 20%, I think it's 20% discount. What are perfect aminos? We've done 3 podcast episodes in this past year. Starting December was the first one. We did a part 2 in January, and then another one with on just perfect aminos with their head guy on just aminos. Now, how does this work? How are we working on speeding up metabolism? Well, I did another episode on what slows our metabolism down and how we can speed it up. I did this video the other day on what is muscle protein synthesis and why does it matter for us aging athletes. And also, I'm working on recording this next. Are we eating too little carbohydrates? And looking at Dr. Stacy Sims' information versus Dr. Mickey, and looking at the science behind it all and how our body really works and what are the research studies saying. It even actually this whole more fiber I'm questioning as well. Do you need beans, lentils, whole grains? I would say no. We need fermented foods maybe to feed our bacteria and get more good guys to outnumber the bad guys. So what I'm doing is working on how we can improve the aging process. A lot of information out there to be metabolically healthy might not be designed for you, the active individual. So if you're active male and for the active female athletes, I will be diving into these different topics. Now, perfect aminos is something I want to talk about today, how you can join my challenge to improve how we age. As we age, maintaining muscle mass and supporting a healthy metabolism becomes a key factor in ensuring we thrive in our later years. So this month coming up, starting tomorrow, October 1st, 2024, I'm giving you the challenge of the MPS challenge, how to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So prioritizing protein each meal, prioritizing strength training, 2 times a week's the minimum. I want you to get 3 or 4, but 2 is the minimum. And hitting your protein goal that we talk about. 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight, which is challenging. So we're going to supplement the rest with what we'll talk about perfect aminos. And I'll show you, use my code Coach Debbie Potts to get 20% off your order, and how you can use them, perfect amino, when to take them, why, how, all of that we can dive into. So they have other options too than just the tablets that I take. Now let's go back to reviewing some words. MPS. What is MPS? Muscle protein synthesis. Muscle protein synthesis, MPS, is the body's process of building new muscle protein to repair and strengthen muscle tissue. Essential. We need MPS to maintain muscle mass and function, but as we age, this process slows down, leading to anabolic resistance. What is anabolic resistance? Well, I'll answer it. Anabolic resistance is what it sounds like: decreased ability of the body to stimulate muscle protein synthesis in response to protein intake and resistant exercise. So, right over there, what we've been doing doesn't work the same anymore. We have a less response to the protein and resistance training. So, we need to eat, usually I say more is not better, but more protein per meal. Animal-based is better than plant-based only because it stimulates muscle protein synthesis more, because it has the right essential amino acids with the right leucine amino acid. So we need that leucine threshold we talked about. So go back and listen to my episode I just had on the audio podcast. Now, as we get older, we hear metabolism slows down and it's harder to lose weight. But my purpose of this podcast and my videos is to help you understand why and how you can do something about it, and not accept gaining weight as your normal part of aging is another excuse and BS to me. So yes, we're not going to maybe look as we did when we're 30, but we don't have to be fat and slow and a couch potato. We just need to change how we train. And again, trying to lose weight doesn't mean eat less and do more cardio, because that's probably not working for you. So we need to look at all these other options I talked about in the previous episode on the audio version. I didn't do a video. It's on the podcast audio. So resistance training will help. We have anabolic resistance, natural part of aging, but we need to change what we do, because anabolic resistance leads to loss of muscle mass, increased fat mass, decreased strength and mobility. So when we have loss of muscle mass and increased fat mass, we're going to have what I say next, metabolic slowdown, which is, again, your choice. Do you want to have a slower metabolism or not? Do you want to have your metabolism stay the same or even get it better? It's how you fuel and train and perform in life every day. So it's up to you. It's your choice if you want to be overweight and tired and not able to sleep at night. It's up to you to make these lifestyle choices. It's up to you to be a health optimizer. It's a choice. Now, what causes our metabolism slow down? What did we just talk about? Makes sense. If I have loss of muscle mass, my metabolism is going to slow down, because muscle burns more calories than fat. So when you lose muscle, your metabolism slows. So remember, when I do my Pinoy metabolic testing, you need to come see me in Del Mar, California, North San Diego, North County, and we'll look at sample reports for you. And we see when we do your metabolism, is your metabolism, once we get this report back, slower, faster than people your age? Then we look at how we measure it and how to improve it. So metabolic fitness is how well your body converts nutrients, fats, and carbs into energy, and body needs energy to move and sustain vital functions as your brain, heart, and lung function. We measure your metabolic fitness by calculating your resting metabolism rate that we determine in the test and your fat burning efficiency scores. What are those coming from? Well, this is resting metabolic rate. We measure that by comparing your RMR rate measured by the device that we do with the Pinoy device, and compare that against the Harris-Benedict equation based on predicted metabolic rate of the demographic. So that's the normal person. And we, of course, never want to be normal. We want to be optimal or above average. Your resting metabolic rate is how fast or slow your metabolism. So if your body's burning more or fewer calories than what is predicted based on your weight, gender, age, and height, that's your resting metabolic rate. Now, we talk when we do personalized coaching together, when I do people's testing, we can determine with the resting metabolism test and your exercise test how you can improve it. So not all these areas are what you want, but we personalize it. Now, on the last page of the report, when you get a resting metabolic rate test, we'll be able to tell, are you having your metabolism slow down or not as you age? A lot of times people are eating too little and not getting protein and not doing the right type of workout. So we talk about that. So then we figure out based on the test what your RMR is, and then we add on estimated daily activity of your calories, and then your active calories. If you were exercising, what would that calorie burn be? And then how many calories you need a day, workout days, non-workout days, that changes. Look at your fuel source used at rest. And then we do the exercise test or active metabolism test, see what fuel source you use at different intensities. Then we look at your macros, which I'll go back to. The focus today is how do we get to stimulate our metabolism? So we can figure out your macros based on looking at how much protein grams per day. And then we figure out what your workout program should look like, intervals versus zone 2 versus your strength training, and also adding in mobility, stability, flexibility, as I did that today in my workout. So what causes our metabolism to slow down? Go back to, we just said, loss of muscle mass, hormonal changes as estrogen, testosterone gets lower. That plays a role in muscle maintenance and metabolism. So we need to dive into that a little bit more. The role of hormones would be another podcast to do, as I have this in one of my blogs, and testosterone and how they play a role in muscle health. So you can do hormone replacement therapy with a specialist as a solution for that. Now, reduced activity levels, many people become less active, and that's a choice. Do you want to be active? Do you want to get your 10, 20,000 steps a day? Do you want to lift weights? Do you want to do zone 2? Do you want to do sprint training? Do you want to do the new thing of jumping, as Stacy Sims just told people on Huberman, 10 minutes of jumping a day? No one's going to do that I know. So if you're the 1% that is good at doing box jumps, maybe you like to jump rope, maybe it's better for you to just do some air squats or do some rebounder activities. So what we can do to improve activity level throughout the day, being more active, is definitely improvement to burning more calories and helping improve your metabolism, avoiding further muscle loss and this metabolic slowdown. All right, so solutions is what we're doing in the October 30-day challenge. So eating high quality protein. Ideally, ironically, red meat is the most nutrient dense. So we can pull up nutrient density chart, carnivore chart that Brad Kearns wrote, carnivore scores or something. What was that? I have it somewhere. And you can look that up on Brad Kearns has a great page on the carnivore scores worksheet and figure out what is the right protein for you. We want to look at nutrient density, and perhaps you're afraid of red meat. So we've got this great chart somewhere in here, getting your fish, fatty acid fish, looking at what is the best option. So you can check out Brad Kearns' chart here, carnivore scores. You don't have to be carnivore. We're talking about nutrient density. So grass-fed liver is the most nutrient dense food. Oysters, salmon roe, caviar, liver, bone broth. I don't eat organ meats. That's why I take a capsule from Paleo Kitchen or Body Health. Then wild caught fish, the smashed fish, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, and herring. Then there's oysters, clams, crab, all those benefits, eggs, and red meat. So we've had this nutrient density, all this good food. And then chicken, which I just had, isn't as nutrient dense. I don't really like it. It's just something, have some lemon and butter on it and salt. You'll put some marinara sauce on it, some cheese, kind of a lasagna, and you can make it taste better. But steak is the best. Now, you can't afford grass-fed steak as myself every day. That would be a great goal of someone to make me a steak every other day. But then we have these foods above the steak line he talks about, and then below nutrient density. So we will go back to the 30-day challenge is to focus on hitting your protein goals. Now, if you are striving, say 150 grams of protein a day, maybe get 2 good meals with 40 grams of protein. It's really hard for some people to get 50 grams. You have to build up to it and perhaps take digest enzymes to break down your fat and protein. If you have gallbladder issues, you might want to digest enzymes that supports your gallbladder function, bile a little bit more. So digest GB is a good supplement. Taking bitters, apple cider vinegar in your water before you eat, but also chewing your food 20 times, eating slowly, being mindful, being in a parasympathetic nervous state is where your body digests food, not in a sympathetic fight or flight food you won't digest. So consuming high quality food is what you eat, nutrient density, single food ingredient, ideally when possible, and how we eat, when and where is as important as what. Now, body health perfect aminos are a great option to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. If you're like me and you can't hit 150 grams because I'm not hungry, I'm full and I can't eat meat before bed and it takes me longer to digest, I'm not going to have big steak. Sorry, the sun is shining on me and it's hot in here, so I'm sweating. So remember, we want to eat real food, nutrient dense whole foods when possible. We supplement where we can't get enough from our foods. That's why we take minerals. That's why we supplement magnesium. That's why I take omega fatty acids. I'm not a supplement pusher. I want you to get the nutrition from real food first. But when we can't get enough of what we need in, especially the more active you are and as the more stress you are, you're getting more depleted, we want to get it from food. So perfect amino chart here, you're going to absorb it. It's already broken down. So it's easier than having whole eggs. You might just get 40% of that protein in use. So the percentage is the percent used to build protein. Remember, anabolic is build, catabolics break down. And that catabolic can be breaking down to sugars or fats, and you can use that as fuel. But if you want to build muscle, as our focus, especially in this 30-day challenge, is to take these branched chain, not branched chain amino acids, that's number 1%, take essential aminos, so the perfect amino acid blend. So you can read about perfect aminos on their website. Again, make sure you support the podcast and use Coach Debbie Potts for your discount code. You pay the same amount, you get actually 20% using my code, so it supports the show. Now, there's great articles on here, perfect aminos, and there's a chart. There are other options that you can get the perfect amino bar if you want to get more aminos from food. I just had one of these. They're pretty tasty, but knowing they're not one food ingredient, they do have other foods in here besides essential amino acids, of course, because it's a protein bar, but coconut oil, natural flavors, organic apple, kale, broccoli, spinach, carrot. So they're definitely not carnivore. They're plants, but that's one option. If you're looking for a bar on the go, I did suggest this to clients that if you're active, you might take more of this. You can look at Perfect Amino. They have their options down here. Now, I like to take the drink mix if possible. I do the tablets. I'm taking 5 tablets in the morning and 5 at night. And then I'm going to add another serving during the day with the electrolyte mix. Here, you can get the perfect amino electrolytes. And then taking maybe doubling the scoop. Now, I don't do well with stevia. You might have heard me say 100 times. So, I don't really like all this sweetness. So that's why I just gag on taking 5 tablets. Maybe I do 10 at once. I'm used to washing them down. But the type of stevia, I'm learning there's different names of stevias, and this stevia they use at Body Health doesn't bother me. So like I can't use stevia in Element, and other amino acids have a sweetener. I can't, it gives me a headache right away. Immediately I get a headache. So check out the options here. I was trying to find the description, but you can look at the electrolytes or more. So this is 2 grams of perfect aminos per electrolyte. So you probably need more than that. So you can look at how you can get these in more direct. As I said, the tablets are what I do, and I do the 5 tablets, and it's absorbed in 20 to 30 minutes. So you can look at, I do the coated. It's easier, I think, to swallow. And you can see the recommendations are 5 tablets 1 to 3 times a day. So my goal in October, if you want to join me on the challenge, is for me, my goal is taking them 3 times a day, 5 tablets. So I'm going to lift weights. I've been going Monday through Friday to the gym, lifting weights, do mobility. I'm really working on hip mobility right now. So my legs don't quite work right. So the running is put on hold right now. And I'm doing hiking instead of running, biking and swimming, but lifting weights, I'm doing that more during the week. So Perfect Aminos tablets, or you can do the drink mix. And the suggestion on the website page handout, you can see is the user guide, how to use Perfect Aminos for maximum benefit. So they have a nice guide they just made: increase lean muscle mass, collagen production, stronger bones, baseline 1 to 3 servings a day. For maximum utilization, best to take 30 minutes before you eat other fats and proteins, or 1 to 2 hours after. However, if this is not possible, you still get results and 99% utilization. So don't worry. So start with the following amounts for your body weight. If you're up to 110 pounds, you take 1 to 2 servings in the morning or before bed. 110, 140 pounds, 2 servings first thing in the morning. So that would be 10 tablets or 2 scoops and more. So you can check out that guide here of 140, 170 pounds. You want 2 servings in the morning and 1 before bed. 170 pounds or more, take 2 servings in the morning and 1 to 2 before bed. So always what we do as FDN practitioners, start the smaller dose, titrate up, sequencing in other supplements. So you don't know what you have problems with. Maybe something doesn't agree with you, but if you're taking 10 things at once, you don't know. So we always do one supplement at a time. Oops, I just cut myself. So if you work out daily, that's most of us, you may want to add 1 to 2 servings above to the above protocol. So if you take Perfect Aminos before your workout, as well as before bed to enhance recovery, you'll get most of the recovery taking the Perfect Aminos before bed, 20 to 30 minutes before a workout for maximum endurance and prevention of muscle loss, especially if you're doing the morning workouts, not eating a lot beforehand. I don't know why I just started cut my hand here. Sorry. Blood. I'm bleeding. Now, one would not need to take more after the work, because aminos will still be in your bloodstream, helping recovery. They will normally be in the bloodstream for about 2 to 3 hours. So something to think about, because I always thought you're supposed to take them after the workout, but it's more in the morning. And they're talking about before your workout as well as before bed to enhance recovery. Think when your body's sleeping, what is it doing? Repair and recovery. So if you can aid in that recovery process by giving some Perfect Aminos, that'd be beneficial. And remember this part, not need to take more after your workout, because you still have them. Now, if you are doing more intense 1 to 2 hour workouts, then use Perfect Aminos as larger people who do intensive 1 to 2 hours and use Perfect Aminos as main protein. They take 2 servings in the morning, 2 servings before their workout, and then 2 before bed, and do this as their primary source of protein, especially if you're vegan or vegetarian. Now, athletes, if you're doing more elite level, you're working out a lot as triathletes, running Ironman, you're doing a lot of triathlon training, you might do 10 to 12 servings a day. That's a lot to keep enhance your recovery, as you might have a race coming up, and decrease muscle soreness the next day. So if you're doing heavy training, you might want to up your Perfect Aminos throughout the day, not trying to get them all at once, of course. I think you'd probably be sick. So that is something to look at. If you're doing fasting, ketosis, Perfect Aminos can help out there. So people that fast between dinner to lunch may take 2 servings of Perfect Aminos in the morning, get the protein wise. So you can read all this. I don't have to go through it with you, but there's some great information here. And then how to build muscle. So we're doing a 30-day challenge. I'm doing it. If you want to join me, you just need to order your supplements today and get this information to you on this guide, and then go back to my blog where I'm talking about how you can get stronger muscle protein synthesis, improve your metabolism, improve how you age. Lots of videos I've done. Again, use Coach Debbie Potts on Perfect Aminos Body Health website, and then you can work on stimulating muscle protein synthesis. So Some notes: strong muscles improve your metabolic function as well as overall health. Muscle acts as a metabolic sink at determining body composition, blood sugar regulation, fat management, and fuel during illness. Obesity, diabetes, heart disease are related, as this is all notes from Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, under muscled and not just over fat. Dr. Gabrielle also talks about muscles store amino acids and protect vital organs from stress. Muscle is built and maintained through two methods: diet and resistance training. Didn't say chronic cardio there, people. Resistance training. Protein supports muscle synthesis, while resistance training accelerates muscle repair and growth. Active muscles contribute to better blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and body composition management. Fad diets that cause rapid weight loss also include muscle tissue loss. This includes using GLP-1 supplements or prescriptions. And then we have metabolic dysregulation over time because we're losing muscle. Losing muscle, sarcopenia, leading to lower metabolism, and then weight gain. So the suggestions are low, but if you go by Dr. Gabrielle's research and the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or 2.2 grams per kilogram. Protein intake should be adjusted based on your target weight during fat loss. So if a 300-pound individual aiming for 180 pounds should consume 180 grams of protein a day, but focus on what type of protein. Not all protein is equal. So we need to get quality protein with the right amino acid profile in our meals. And then remember, supplement where you're not getting enough, as body health that I'm going to do myself 3 times a day. So protein, remember, plays a crucial role in muscle building, immune function, hormone production. Antibodies, which protect the body from toxins and foreign substances, are made from proteins. Hormones like insulin are protein-based, while others, as thyroid hormones, are made from amino acids and transported by proteins. Now, think of essential fatty acids, that cholesterol, the steroid hormones, are made from cholesterol, which are made from fat. So we need to remember fat and protein are essential for hormone balance. Excuse me. So thyroid hormones help regulate the blood glucose, metabolic rate, growth hormone secretion, and body health. So tyrosine is part of thyroid hormones, and you need iodine and tyrosine. And tyrosine is an amino acid that comes from protein. So again, we need to get our essential amino acids. So we talk amino acids for protein. 3 ones that are always talked about: leucine, lysine, and methionine is essential amino acid. And that plays a key role in production of creatine. And you'll hear why people take creatine for muscle health, but also sprint training and brain health. Methionine supports the creation of cysteine, leading to production of glutathione, which is crucial antioxidant that a lot of us support glutathione production with supplementation or a wellness, taking gluta spray. And there's other methods to improve your glutathione, but glutathione is really essential for liver detox and antioxidants. Now, you can read all about methionine in plant versus animal proteins, dietary sources, and how you can get more. You can go to Dr. Gabrielle Lyon's page that she has a great handout on her website that you can check out. Whoops, spelling error. So protein, carbohydrates, Dr. Gabrielle talks about 30 grams max per meal. This is 30 to 40, but you want about 90 to 100 grams a day. But for women that are more anabolic resistance and insulin insensitive, we want to have just those carbs post workout when you're doing more anaerobic workout. So this is more timing and moving after you eat, really important part if you are more carb insensitive and insulin resistant. If you're doing more extended high intensity workouts, having that carbs is suggested. So this is where we need to discuss what is your workout, what is the best source for you, and figure out timing and essential fats. And then looking at, how you can get protein-centered approaches. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon talks about what carbs, 100 grams. If you're active, this more athletes. Nutritional ketosis is more about 50 grams a day to 20 grams for people metabolically unhealthy. But if you're metabolically healthy and you're very active and you're doing more anaerobic workouts, you can probably tolerate a little bit more carbs and still be burning fat, metabolically flexible, burning carbs when needed in high intense workouts. So something to think about as we personalize your nutrition program, your fueling, training, and performance. So focus on optimal health, getting the right essential amino profile, why we need that leucine threshold I reviewed in here as well, what types of carbohydrates you eat. I'm not a big fan of gluten, wheat, grains. I'm more nature's carbohydrates. I've been cutting back on vegetables with seeds and looking at more of the plant have their toxins and looking at more root vegetables as an athlete. So safe starches. So getting muscle protein synthesis, you can read more on what is MPS, why does it matter for aging athletes, but hitting that protein goal, timing your carbohydrates in and around your workouts and getting the right leucine and then supplementing with perfect aminos. I'm going to do 3 times a day. You can figure out what works best for you, but check out the information on their website and you can click on the dot that says perfect user guide. So I'll put the links in the show notes. So if you have any questions, let me know. Let's do this together and get stronger and see if we can get those muscles building up and get more lean tissue and increase your metabolism. All right, talk soon. Thanks for watching. Share with someone that might be interested as well. Let me know your questions.